Welcome to the world of scale modeling with Mike Ashe, where techniques, tips, and creativity come alive with dozens of tutorials, projects, tape-up reviews, and picture references to help you build better scale models and enjoy our wonderful hobby. Welcome to Part 6 of Building and Detailing the Revell Monogram 148 scale C-47. In Part 6, I'm going to demonstrate my sponging techniques using silver paint and how to dirty up the parts as well as the interior using pastel dust. So, let's get started.
We're set up to do a little bit of sponging. These are the sponges that I use. I've used these before. These are new, so I thought I'd try them out. So we'll start with the seats and we'll see how they come out. Again, you want to get rid of almost all of this paint so that you just have a little bit. See? You just want a little bit. The other thing is you gotta, and I neglected to do this on my B17 build, you gotta rotate this. Otherwise all the patterns look the same. There we go. And we'll do a little bit here. Just right about there. There we go. Just takes a little, just a tiny bit. Now in this, we'll use these bigger pieces. We'll use this bigger sponge. We'll see how this works. There we go. And on this side, I think we might have enough left on here. Yep, we do. And we'll rotate it. No, we're all gone with the paint. There. Okay, so these are done. Let's go back to the small one. And we'll go ahead and get a little bit here. And some in here. There we go. This one is a little longer, so we'll go ahead and try this one. And we'll get some, just a little bit back here. Nope. Paint's all used up. So go ahead and get some more paint. You don't want to get paint on your hands because then it goes all over the place. So you got to be careful. And we'll go ahead and there we go. Now we got more paint. In these tight areas, it's kind of hard to get in there. There we go. All right, got that done. Now we'll go ahead and do a little bit up here. There we go. Just takes a little bit. Now, what we'll do, I want to try this. We'll try this new sponge and see how this works. Not bad. Go ahead and do a little here. Maybe a little bit on the door. And we'll go ahead and switch sponges. These are a little bit stronger, so we can go ahead and get some random patterns here. There we go. And then we'll do a little bit on the floor. Get a little bit here. There we go. Doesn't take much. You don't want to overdo it. Put a little bit more in this bulkhead, even though we're not going to see it. Good practice. Okay, next we'll do the fuselage interiors, and we'll work on that, and then we'll be done with the silver edging and the sponging. We're going to do a little dabble do ya on the interior of the fuselage. See how that's going to look. There we go. looks pretty good. Go ahead and get the rest of the paint off of this. We'll go ahead and do the other side, and I'll try this bigger sponge on the other side just to show you the differences between the two. It is hay fever season here in the valley. That's what happens if you don't take off most of the paint. Now, those are similar patterns. That's what happens when you don't rotate. Okay, I think we got it. Get a little bit up here, and we'll get a little bit with the bigger boy up here, and I think we're good. So that's how you do the sponging. There's no science to it. The only thing is that, and these are just regular kitchen sponges that I cut into sections. And you want, let me show you something here. See how just a little bit of pressure. Now watch this one. Now this is another sponge, but look at that. See, you got to have enough strength to the sponge so that it doesn't crush on you. Now this one, not so good. Better than this one, but still not good. So I'm gonna throw this one out, and this one, I think I'll just stick to these blue ones now, because these really work well. And when we get to the outside and along the leading edges, I'll show you how I've contoured the sponge and kind of did a circular cutout so that you can get around the cowling edges as well as the leading edges where there's not a black boot. So that's how I do my sponging. And next up will be to dirty up the parts with a little bit of dark gray and charcoal pencil pastels. And then we'll go ahead and shoot a coat of clear flat to seal the pencil pastels, and we're ready to start assembling. Go ahead and clean this top, seal this, and I have this for sponging because I put a little bit of thinner in here to loosen it up. And I have a case that is specific for sponging. Keep all my sponges in. I've got to cut some more. This one is again, this is real, it's loose. So it's not going to work good, but I'll try it. I might have a use for it later. So I think we're good. So that's how you do your sponging. And it's a real simple technique. And it's easier than this ancient hairbrush method where you got to chip the paint off. I tend to try to keep things simple so that it minimizes or negates your disasters. And the final point is, with weathering, less is always better. And it's this cumulative effect. So I did the dry brushing first, the sponging second, and then I'll use the pencil pastels third. And then all of that cumulative effect, little bit of each one, makes a big difference. And we'll be able to close up this puppy pretty soon and start working on other things. So there you have it. This dark gray is my go-to color for the light colors on the bottoms of fuselages to dirty them up, and for pretty much just about everything. Black, I sometimes use black, but it's too dark. But this dark gray works really, really well. So we'll go ahead and do a little of this. And again, it's just a little bit dirty it up. It doesn't take much. There we go. Just darken it up just a little bit, and let the pencil pastel do the rest. Okay, this is done. And we'll go ahead and I'll shoot this area too. There we go. Okay. Not bad. Okay, we'll work on the interior area a little bit, but let me get a little more pastel dust on here. There we go. And for this, I'm just going to splotch. You see how it goes on, and you can kind of spread it out a little bit, but the paint, the flat paint really picks it up and dirties it up. Okay, let's go ahead and splotch up this floor a little bit where you're going to see some of it. And we'll go ahead and do a little bit on the fuselage, the cockpit area. So, they're looking good. Again, this will bleach out a little bit once it's covered with and sealed with a clear flat. We're losing it here. Okay, we got it. Doesn't take much. That's our dog Tiberius barking at probably nothing. So, let me go ahead and move on to the interiors of the fuselage and the upper part of the wings, and we're done. We'll go ahead and do the insides of the wing first. And I have these mounted, and here we're just going to splotch. Just very subtle effect. And we'll do this one. All right. These are done. Now, after I'm done with the interior parts of the fuselage, I'll mount them. So, let's go ahead and dirty this up a little bit. This is an easy method. It doesn't require any exotic tools or procedures, and it looks pretty good once it's sealed, and it also tones down areas that are too bright from the silver paint. Okay, a little smudgy. You can see how you can unsmudge it up. And we'll go ahead and get a little bit of the cockpit area, although you're not going to see much of this. I'll add a little enhancement here. Okay. We'll go ahead and give ourselves a little more. And go ahead and wrap up the other side. You see how it's just on, now that was way too much. Way too much. Again, this dust sticks very, very good to flat paint. Not so much on gloss paint, it just skips right off it because it's gloss. Now on the flat paint, the reason why you see flat paint is because it's got rough ridges, microscopic ridges, and that's what this dust is attaching to. You see right there is a good example. See how it dulled up that silver? And that's exactly how it'll look. So, yeah. I like it. Came out pretty good. Now you can definitely remove some of this. See what's happening here? I'm removing some of it. Smudging it. So it's looking pretty good. Yes, a little artistic flair. Never hurt anybody. All right, let's see if we can remove some of this. There we go. Whoop. All right, let's see what we got. I didn't mess with this area because there's a bulkhead right here that is going to hide that, so it wasn't worth messing with. And this is the other side. So, not bad. And once it's given a coat of clear flat, it'll dilute some of this color And I'll lighten some of this up. Okay. Now it looks like the inside of a dirty C-47. And it's looking pretty good. I like it. So, and again, I've got multiple colors. The pastel chalks work just as well as these pencils. You do not want to get oil-based. You want a chalk base. An oil-based just doesn't work as well as the chalk-based. So, it's looking good. I like it. And this is a good skill building kit. So once I get the clear thinner on it, I have to go ahead and scrape these gluing surface areas on both sides as well as everything else. And then we'll be ready to do final assembly. So we'll be back with you when we get to that point.
One minor correction, I meant to say clear flat paint, not clear thinner. This concludes Part 5 of Building and Detailing the Revell Monogram 148 scale C-47. And stay tuned for Part 7, where we assemble the interior parts and button up the fuselage. Happy scale modeling! Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. And when you get the chance, visit our website at www.mikeashley.com, where you're going to find dozens of free PDF downloads, including tutorials, picture references, model galleries, projects, and my 5 original scale modeling books. Thanks to Ben Sound and Videvo for the royalty-free music, and happy scale modeling!